Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We had some legends in the building this morning.
The MOBBDEEP.
Havoc and Prodigy. Morning, guys.
Good morning,
What's
good
up?
morning,
Good morning. Top of the morning.
You just ran into your old boss.
50 Cent.
How'd that conversation go, man?
Cool, brother.
He said Prodigy's cool with him, but Havoc don't like
He
him.
was like, Havoc probably
He
feels
owe
like
you
Yayo
some
feels
money
right
have
now.
or something? What happened?
Nah, not at all. Nah, you know what it is? It's just, I'm good on bread, but, cause I be in the back cave working on beats all the time. I don't go out, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really a real, person to be out a lot, so I haven't seen 50 in a while.
Okay.
You
So
know?
you got no problem. Why he say you don't like him, though?
He said you like
Something happened.
Yayo.
He said you like Yayo. He said him and Prodigy good.
I think he was just joking. I ain't seen him in a long time, you know what I mean? Word. So it ain't nothing serious, you know what I'm saying? I just ain't seen homie in a long
Had
time.
me in the cut.
Yeah, me anti-social in the cut. Word, for real.
So now you got the new Mobb Deep album out right now. You guys decided to go independent way, the independent route.
The infamous Mobb Deep.
Yes,
Interesting.
indeed. Word. And
Because you got some old joints on there that's like explain how you did this.
Not
album.
old, classic. It's the difference between old and classic.
Thank you. Explain that to him, P. What's
Yeah,
going
basically, the album dropped in April. So April was the 20th anniversary of the Infamous album. And we did the Infamous in 95. So basically, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Infamous, we put 10 songs that we found from the masses that would never release.
From back then?
Right.
That's dope.
And we packaged it with the new album, with the new music. As a celebration type of thing.
Now I see Nas, Ghostface, and Raekwon. Were those old verses from back then, or
Eye for an eye.
Actually, it's a bunch of new verses that we never used before.
That's my favorite Mobb Deep song.
So all those guys laid more than one verse for Eye for an Eye.
Yeah, it's like original versions that never got used.
Wow.
Things that I ain't even remember.
So you had to hit up like
you know what I mean?
Noid and ask him?
Oh, nah, we ain't have to ask them.
Nah. Just put it out there, man.
How you find all of these though? Because most producers you hear about RZA's studio got flooded and they lost this and lost
there was
that.
no computers and stuff like that.
It's
back
not
then.
on
These were
iCloud.
reels.
Nah, but it was
not on
actually
iCloud,
an
you
ill
stupid.
mission to find these reels because what happened was we was shooting a documentary on the Infamous album. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And in doing that, we wanted to get like the music from it, like the reels. Nobody knew where the reels was at. Like we could not find them for nothing. Like they just. But to make a long story short, Stretch Armstrong had found them, and we got the reels, and we threw them all onto Pro Tools, and now we had the masters back. You know what I mean? Which was a miracle. It's like these reels. Like nobody knows where they at, like from the 90s and stuff like that. And it's kind of tragic because it's like a lot of classic music, not only ours, but other music from the 90s that's just gone. And I think a lot of it is just going forever. Period.
FYI, I don't even know how to open CDs no more. I've been trying to open this CD for 5 minutes.
Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it on the thing like that.
Yeah.
Or you can do it with your nail.
Now, is there a tour going with this album, being that it's 20 years?
Yeah, we're doing a world tour. We're doing like bunch of cities in the U.S. and then we going overseas to Europe and everywhere overseas. So it's definitely gonna be a big release for us.
Yeah, we just came from the UK last weekend. Had a show out there.
Shout out to Supreme.
I'm interested to see what Mobb Deep's music sounds like now, because even when we was talking to 50 just now, he was talking about Jay-Z and how Jay-Z he acts his age in his music. And y'all are the guys that was cutting people and shooting people 100 miles per hour. Is that still there?
Well, I mean, it's still a lot of streets we deal with, you know what I mean? It's still we still in the streets, man. You know what I mean? I mean, I ain't gotta be hustling down the streets, but I still got my ties. I don't lose ties with my people.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And Havoc said he's a homebody. You used to be out and about all the time when you were younger.
Yeah, I just be, laid back, you know what I mean?
What do you look to for inspiration then? Because sometimes you feel like you have to go out just to see with a pulse of what's going on.
I mean, once in a blue moon, you know what I'm saying? I might hit a spot or two, you know what I mean? But I never was one to have to be like in certain places to like have to do what I do, you know what I mean? I draw my inspiration from the streets, period. You know what I'm saying? Even though I might not be like, where the cameras is at all the time, you know what I mean? But I'm always with my peoples, you know what I'm saying, in the trenches. So
and we've been through so much in our life, man, and our friendship and Mobb Deep's relationship that you can't take that away. It's in our brain, it's in our heart, it's in our soul. You can't take away what we've been through, man. We've been through more than what most people been through as far as real drama and all kinds of shit. So it's like, that'll never go away. It's always gonna be in our music.
Now we've had y'all both here separately. Now we got y'all here together, so we got to ask the question again. When Havoc went on his Twitter tirade,
Oh boy.
you know,
Yeah, Prodigy said you guys never discussed that face to face. He never really brought it up. Y'all was in the studio, just let it go. He never said nothing to you about it. He did say he did laugh though when he seen those tweets. It caught him off guard.
I mean, it's funny. Like, what can you do? Like, it is funny. Everybody was laughing. Like, yo, these is crazy.
yeah.
I'm glad y'all worked it out. I'm glad y'all worked it out because I mean it's hard to see one without the other. So you know it's always good to see that on tour. I think I got a record this morning. I'm looking it up. Did I get a record this morning? Is Mobb Deep in the Locks?
Yeah.
That's not on the
definitely.
album.
Nah, it is on the album.
Oh, it is on the album?
It's on the iTunes version because we did the record so late, it didn't make the first run of CDs.
Got you.
But it'll be on the second run of CDs. Though.
Got you.
Jesus Christ, Mobb Deep in the Locks. How many people got killed on that record?
It's the first song we got together too. So it's definitely
Yeah, I seen it this
monumental.
morning. I thought it was a tie. I was like, nah, I didn't see that on the album. And then, but wow. So how did that come about?
Basically, when I had first came home, I had reached out to Sheik Lutz and Kiss, and I was kicking it with them and just telling them, like, you know, we big fans, we want to do music with them, you know, and yeah, we just worked everything out, and here we are.
That's dope.
Have you ever thought about writing a book?
Actually, I got a book in the makings. I'm actually writing it right now. You know what I mean? Shopping a little deal.
Watch out, Prodigy.
Yeah,
Tell them the name of the book.
Oh, nah, you know, I had a few names of the book, but, you know, I'm going to keep that under wraps. But I am writing a book right now. It's
Is it tell-all? Is it tell-all about everything?
You know, actually, my book is just going to really be just, it's going to be a good read. It's about what I went through, you know what I'm saying?
Memoirs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I you know.
Tell us sounds
it
so
should be dope.
dirty, I mean, the way you said it.
Tell all.
Memoirs.
How'd you feel about Prodigy's book? I thought it was a great read, but you know, I wasn't one of the people that he referenced shooting people.
Who I read for shooting somebody?
Nori.
No, I didn't. Nori shot the ground.
Shot the ground. Yeah, okay.
Get it straight. Get it straight.
Nori shot the ground. You're right. You're right.
About P's book, like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, not a lot. I would just say a couple of things in there. Like, I would say I had a few discrepancies, but, you know, when people see different stories, how they see it, and then you might see it another way, but then you put it all together, and it is the, you know, similar story. But I might be like, no, it happened like this, or, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's my homie. He's like my brother. So
We remember
you know.
things how we remember them.
Right.
Won't you write
How
the
we wanna
same book
remember.
from your
Right.
perspective? That'd be ill.
From what
dope.
perspective?
Yeah, write the same book, but from your perspective.
Prodigy wrote it from House.
In your life.
I remember Nori
You know, they
shooting
always
somebody.
say there's two sides to a story. You know?
No, there's three sides. It's your side, his side, and the truth.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But nah, you know, it'll probably be.
Now, working on the new music on this album, were you two both in the studio together, like nonstop locked in?
Yeah, we was in the studio together. I mean, we in the same state, so we don't gotta like email songs to each other or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, we work well in the studio together.
Everything was on point. Nobody was late, or, slacking.
We definitely on point in the studio.
One thing I
Like,
say about Prodigy recently, the last year or so, he's been hustling. Like
he definitely
I see
has.
him everything with a book, with a album, with another album, with another book, with a this, with a that. You
You have a publishing company too, like a book
Yeah,
publishing
definitely.
company.
Everything I do is, you know, to keep Mobb Deep name out there, keep our name alive, keep our legacy alive. You know what I mean? It's all for us. Like, you know what I mean?
What about
We
a
too
movie based
important.
on Mobb Deep?
Yeah, I mean, they did Murder Music. That's what I understand. Like, when I read your book, the book read like a movie script.
Right.
So why
Right.
wouldn't y'all do another film?
I mean, we might do that eventually, but you know, it's to do a movie the right way, where it's official and it's quality. It takes a lot of money. You know what I mean? So you need investors. You need somebody that believes in the story. So eventually, maybe that'll happen. But right now, it's like, you know, we focus on other things.
Who did the Murder Music movie?
I did it myself out of my pocket.
Wow. How much
Yeah.
that cost?
I paid like $400,000.
I had that on VHS.
Yeah.
VHS, wow.
That was back in the days.
Wow.
That was back in the days when it was expensive to shoot a movie. Now they got these cameras. You can just shoot
You did it
anything.
for 20,000.
Quality, word, you know what I mean?
Last time I seen you, you were with your daughter.
Yeah.
And I remember a line, it's something, it says, blood get on my daughter, I just wipe it off. How does your daughter feel about your lyrics?
She don't listen to rap music.
That's
She don't
the
listen
way,
to rap
yeah.
music. She
That's-
listen to alternative rock. She like Nirvana and Sky Ferreira and different things. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. Like, growing up in a hip hop household and she don't listen to hip hop. She
That could
probably
be
hate-
anything, though. You say blood on my daughter. Hey, your parent could be on.
Now, you know what I meant? You know what I meant when I said that? I meant when I got my kids with me You know what I'm saying? If something happened and a little blood splash on her, it's nothing.
Oh, we knew that. We knew exactly what you
Just in
knew
case
that.
somebody didn't know what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, oh, he's crazy. He's just trying to say something crazy. No, I ain't trying to say something crazy. I'm trying to say something for real. There'll be times I'll be with my kids, walking, I'll be by myself, and, you know, people like to start, you know how people like to start with you, try to test you. Yeah, it goes down.
How different are you and Hav? Because, you know, like Prodigy, you're into some of the stuff I'm into, like UFOs and stuff like that. Hav,
Into UFOs.
for real. Prodigy, you know, for real. He is. He ain't never read the
Oh,
book.
man,
You ain't read the book.
You only know.
So Hav don't seem like he into that. You know what I'm saying?
Hav is into esoteric knowledge. That's what it's called.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And so am I. You know what I mean? We just express it in different ways. We individuals. But Hav read about all that type of stuff. He know what's going on.
Okay. So Prodigy ain't never came to you, Hav, like, yo, I saw a UFO last night. Yada, yada. He was like, yo, this is crazy.
Nah, because he, like he said, like, I'm fully into all of that. You know what I mean? I just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, people think you crazy when you start talking about
Oh, believe me, I know.
conspiracy theories and all of that. You know what I mean? So, you know, like the plane that just went missing. I could go on for days about that one. You know what I'm saying? So,
What's the first thing I said when the plane went missing?
UFO.
All right.
He's an aliens guy.
That's the first thing I said. Experiments.
What about music that's out now? When you guys are in the studio, do you tell each other, oh, this is what's hot right now, I love this?
Yeah, definitely.
Like who?
You know, Hav would tell me he likes something. I tell Hav I like something.
Like who would you give as examples of?
Kendrick Lamar. You know,
Yeah.
he put out one of the dopest albums so far.
Word.
With Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, you know, something like that. For example.
Do you pay attention to, like, you know, say the We Made It with Jay-Z going at Drake? Do you pay attention to stuff like that?
Yeah, I seen it in the morning, and I was kind of like, you know, scroll past this. I ain't really paid attention to it too much.
Mm-hmm. Some people feel like hip hop beef is something that they hate when they see their favorite artists make up. You know, we had this discussion a lot, like, oh, now look at you know, Rick Ross in the studio with Jeezy or all of that. How do you feel about that in hip hop music? Everybody being friends with each other.
I mean,
you know,
it's cool to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Because what they want us to do. Because if we run around
not kill
popping
each other, but
and jumping each other, then you say we stupid.
But we're talking about on music, not in real life. You know, trying to kill each other.
I mean, in music, it's gonna get serious. Cause somebody's gonna get offended, like, you know what I mean? Somebody's gonna get offended. I mean, I had to learn that lesson. I used to be very vocal, outspoken about people I don't like, rappers I don't like.
You calm down a lot.
Certain people, you know what I mean? Like, very outspoken. Just like y'all are outspoken on this show. I'll be very outspoken, you know, with my music, and I had to chill out, man, because, you know, it starts trouble with my coworkers. Like, other rappers are my coworkers. I got enough problems in the street. There's people in the streets that's jealous of us.
Right.
You know
Still,
what I mean?
right now?
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
People in the streets are jealous of us, and it's bad enough we got to deal with that. I shouldn't have to come to work and deal with beef with my coworkers, other rappers. You know what I'm saying? We make money together.
I guess you said, would you ever do a song with, like, Jay? Would that be possible?
Oh yeah, but you know, Jay, he's on another level. Like he look at me like, why would I do a song with Prodigy?
Nah, I think Jay respects. I think he respects the culture and
I
respects
think he
the
did.
game.
I
He
definitely
does.
think
Jay's a fan of Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
definitely think he would.
Whether he's vocal about it or not, he is a fan of Mobb Deep.
Right.
And I'm a fan of Jay-Z. We both fans of Jay-Z. You know what I mean? We had our little discrepancies. It is what it is. But a feature is just like, you know, Jay don't do features with people, dog. You know that.
So if Miss Drizzy call you, right?
Miss
Drake
Drizzy.
calls you.
Drake is Drake, man. Don't disrespect him.
And he says, how do I handle JP? He came at me, what do I do? What advice would you give him since you've been there and done that?
To be 100% honest about that, I think Drizzy would give Jay a run for his money.
So would you recommend that he
He's
respond to
nice.
Jay-Z?
He's
ignore
nice, but
the-
what are you going
the
to
diss?
say?
I say respond.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. You just got to respond. It's
But
competition.
what is he going to say?
I mean, he
What?
could just say, rap, just like he been rapping.
He could say, I got on faster. You know what I'm saying? And popped it off faster.
Does that matter, though?
Yeah,
I mean,
As a
you
diss
know what
track,
I'm
you
saying?
say whatever
All
you
he
say,
gotta
how
do is
slick
just
you
rap.
can say it.
Just rap your ass off. Have Jay rap his ass off, and I think, to me, I think Drake could chew him. I think Jay could just, you know, brag about what he got and
Well, Jay-Z got a
where
lot
he
more
at,
than
and his
Drake.
wife.
I think
and-
Jay will
I-
spank him
I-
with experience.
I gotta disagree. I don't think Jake could choose
Me
Jay
neither.
I think
like
it,
that.
that's my
Like
opinion.
that.
I think he give him a run for his money.
Nah, definitely give him a run for his money.
It'll
though.
be entertaining, but I think Jay will spank him with experience.
Yeah, you know.
Cause his girl is signed to Jay.
As far as who I would
go.
pick, like my favorite,
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to a Jay-Z than listen to a Drake.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, as far as them beefing, like, oh man, it's on, word. I think Drake could give him a run for his money right now.
And just so you know, when Ashanti was up here, we tried to chastise her about giving that picture.
Oh yeah, I was
She
tight.
denied it.
Did she admit it?
She denied it. She said
Prodigy OG check me.
Envy had me tight, man.
Prodigy definitely OG check me.
You text him. You told me you'll punch him in his face, rock the brown with his whole phone.
Nah, man, I was just like, come on with the ballerina. Like, that's enough of that. You know that ain't true, man.
He definitely hit me.
He was shooting shots at me,
I
yeah.
wasn't shooting shots. I was trying to clear it up.
Yeah, okay.
And she said it wasn't her.
She denied it.
She really, truly denied it.
Yeah,
She
she
said it
said she
wasn't
had
her.
nothing to do with it. She don't know where
Nah,
she
of
said
course,
it.
it wasn't. It ain't had nothing to do with that.
You know the first thing everybody says when they bring that up, no matter who it is, they be like, "It wasn't a ballerina uniform." Ashanti said he wasn't a ballerina.
Yeah, cause this dude right here, they say ballerina. Every interview we talk about it, ballerina. Like, come on,
Now
man.
in my head, I see a tutu. You know.
Nah,
Trying to make
the
people
last
think
time I
that.
was here, the last time I was here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all said that, and I was like, nah, it was.
Havoc said it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Come on,
Yeah,
man,
let me
cut
see.
that
I
out,
don't
But
know,
she
man.
said it wasn't her. She
Cause
said
I
it was
get mad.
somebody
I
else.
start getting mad. I be like want to do shit,
he
man. I be
immediately-
like, yo, man, chill out with
It's
that.
still a sore spot for real.
Nah, it's not a soft spot. It's just the fact that I know Envy.
It's
Yeah,
inaccurate.
But I was just asking. To
The
clear
way
it
you
up.
ask.
And I know, like,
Don't
come
try to
on,
come
dog, you know
sideways,
better than
Envy.
that. Like, you know that wasn't the truth. You trying to make people think that?
No,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
asking
yeah.
because that's the story that came out. So I asked her. She said no.
Okay.
Like we'd have had you wearing a skirt back in the day in Queens, Envy.
Come on, man. Cut it out.
Shrimp.
Cut it out. When I hear shit like that, I get tight because now,
He hit me
come on, man, I'm
immediately.
running around these streets. I'm doing things in these streets. Don't play with me like that, dog. Like I'll do. Like, come on, cut it out.
Now, what do y'all think about rappers in skirts?
So you go from
like
there to there?
kilts.
Yeah,
No,
kilts.
Young Thug
Young
admitted
Thug.
he was wearing girls' dresses from the girls' department. He says it's a dress.
He was wearing a dress.
Let him hear it, Q. Can you let him hear it? Can they hear it? I
don't
want
know
them
if
to
it's
hear this real quick. This is because y'all from the golden era of hip hop, and things have really changed.
And now,
You know?
yo,
Here we go.
I do got to ask you about the leopard print joint you had on. Now, was that a shirt or was that a dress?
Oh yeah, that was a dress.
That was a dress.
I think that was like a 7, 8-year-old dress, right? Like a little girl dress.
You like copped it like vintage store? Or where'd you pick it up at?
Unknown place of business. I won't let nobody know.
Yeah, you tell them where you cop it. They want to cop it. They're gonna start wearing it. Have you seen anybody start rocking them now since?
Of course, I've seen a lot of these punks buy.
Damn,
So
Pete.
if
Let
you
him
know
know.
what he
Pete,
said-
let him know who did that first.
First of all, who
where's
was
he
that?
from?
That was
Young
Young Thug.
Young Thug.
I'm a
Where's he-
stoner.
where's he
I'm
from?
a stoner.
He's from
I'm a
Atlanta.
stoner.
Who did it first? I think it was Kanye, right?
Yeah,
Kanye
with the
wear a
kilt.
dress. He wore a kilt.
Uh.
This is a full dress. He was like, it's a girl dress a size 7 to 8.
I don't think.
No, he said from 7 or 8 years ago. And he said from the little
So he
girls.
had it that long.
Yeah, so I don't know if he had it that long, but
I
that's
mean,
all.
put it like this: that don't fly where we from. Anywhere we see it like that, anywhere, we gonna laugh and all kind of. You might get thrown at you, might get slapped, all kind of.
But nowadays, in 2014, he got 2 of the biggest records in the club.
That's cool.
His name is
happy.
Young Thug.
I'm happy for his
Young
career. I'm just saying you
Thug.
can't wear no type of where I'm from.
Wow.
They will clap you, cut you, beat the shit out you, all
You
that.
don't find that to be kind of, a lot more accepted nowadays, though? Like, you see all kinds of things on TV, just people walking around dressed how they're dressed. It's kind of not,
I mean,
that out the norm anymore.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that's cool.
I mean,
I don't think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, boys wearing dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I don't have nothing against, you know what I mean?
Homosexual.
Gay people.
Right. Nothing against gay people, but, if he gonna wear it like that, then he should just be like, who
I'm
he
gay.
is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to make it like this is the
Well, for him, it's just
gangster
a
thing to
fashion
do.
You know what
statement.
I'm saying? Huh?
It's just a fashion statement to him.
I guess so. I mean, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at him.
Because at first, jeggings were a little weird. When guys started wearing jeggings, that was a little
They
weird
still a little weird.
for people to grasp, but
Look like you got a lot on your mind, Pete.
that don't fly where we from, man. Wear that shit where we from and watch what happen to you. That's the bottom line. Wear that shit in the places where we be at, we hang out at. Come to the club with that shit on and watch what happen to you.
Wow, dresses. That's ew.
All right.
Did you ever think it would get to this point? When y'all first started 20 years ago, did you see this coming?
Yeah, it was a lot of clown shit back then too.
Yeah.
It was a lot of corny ass rappers that dress crazy and all that back then. You know what I'm saying? We was making fun of them back then too. Like,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
it's just now, it's just like, all right, it's a new type of funny, new type of clown. Like,
You think it'll ever be a point where y'all two will look at each other and be like, you know what? This ain't for us no more, man.
what,
Nah,
hip-hop?
Yeah.
nah, because you know what? We always gonna do what we do. You understand? Regardless of what other people is doing, it could be the world against us. You know what I'm saying? I'ma still do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna concede or you know what I'm saying follow any kind of trend of what's going on just because.
Man, we make a certain type of hip hop, man. We make hardcore hip hop.
Mhm.
You know, we in a different type of business at this stage in our life. We in the catalog business. We ain't in really the first week sale business. You know what I mean? We in the catalog business where we building a catalog that's worth millions of dollars. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and we doing it by keeping to our formula, sticking to the music that we make. You know what I mean? The hardcore hip hop music. That's what Mobb Deep brings to the table. That's what's so special about us. Out of all the rappers in the game, there's not too many. You can name on 1-2 fingers who got a lane like us that make the style of music like us.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just stick it to that, and that's that, man. You know what I mean? All this other trends, niggas wearing dresses and weird shit, like, it's cool. It's cool to laugh at. You need some comic relief.
Do y'all really get along, or is this 20th anniversary of Mobb Deep? Let's do this album, do it for the business. Or do y'all genuinely get along?
Nah, we get along. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, we have our differences, but we've been on the road, like, you know, for the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wu-Tang also recently celebrated their 20 years as
But
a
they
group.
can't get along.
Well, some of them
Most
get
of them
along.
can.
That's a lot of people to have to get along with
Right.
each other, though. In all fairness, that's 9 members in a group.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Now-
anytime you got like a group,
Right.
relationship, you know, dealing with your wife or your friend, partner, business relationship, you're always gonna have discrepancies, disagreements, little arguments here and there, personality clashes. But if the love for what you're doing and what it's all about is stronger than all that, you're gonna overcome all that. You know what I mean? Me and Hab, we always argued for years. You know what I mean?
Fist fight?
We had fist fights before. We had fist
He
fight
said
in the
no.
hotel, remember?
Tussles,
Remember
yeah, a little.
Who won that?
They had to come break us up.
Why
like,
were y'all fighting over?
But who was winning before it got broke up?
Who was winning?
Half slammed me, half slammed me on the floor, yo.
I spilled juice on him by accident.
You
I
spilled
think he had
juice on him?
he must have had an argument with his wife a little bit before that. Spilled juice.
Messed up his new kicks. He wanted to fight.
Yeah,
That
you
was
know what I'm
funny,
saying?
yo.
Little boom, boom, boom. It was
So no
over.
hands were thrown. It was just.
Nah, no hands.
You just
was
slammed
thrown.
him.
It was
something
funny.
like that. You know what I'm
It was
saying?
fun.
Do you guys remember your first show that you ever did as Mobb Deep and how much money you got for it or any of that?
I kind of remember the show we did. One of our first shows, we did a show in Rochester, New York. It was like one of our first shows, and we used to come out and we used to do this thing like singing over like Mary J. Blige's joint, going, "If you look in the crowd, you see what I see."
So y'all
A lot of
doing the
shook
Drake?
motherfuckers. Nah, but
Not
we
quite.
was like
You
we
ain't let
kind of
us
switched
finish.
it, and then threw a drink on me from the crowd. Now keep in mind,
Damn it, man.
keep in mind, the stage was like a cage. I was like, yo, why do they got a big ass barricade? And that's why, you know what I'm saying? Boom, the drink came on me. P grabbed some chairs, threw it on him, and the whole club was like chasing us out of there. And it was like 6 inches of snow. It was like the snow was like up to our waist. And we had to jet out of there, but that was like one of our first shows. And I remember it like it was yesterday.
Y'all ain't throwing no more chairs anymore, right? Now that people are.
Not if we
depends
don't
on
have
the
to.
situation.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
drink.
Sometimes
It really
it's
depends on the
crazy out here.
situation.
Like, you know,
Do y'all feel y'all still have to do that because of who y'all are, Mobb Deep, the music y'all make?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll do something just because of the person that I am. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to perpetuate. I'm not trying to front like I'm a tough guy or none of that. This is just who I am.
Infamous album Interlude, live in the
It's
flesh.
just,
with her.
it's just who I am, dog. I got a lot of anger in me. I'm sorry that I'm like that. That's just the way I am, dog. I try to chill. I try to, de-escalate situations. But sometimes people push you to do something to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you gotta try to be a man about it, be smart about it. But all right, is it worth letting it escalate this far? But sometimes people don't leave you no choice.
Yeah, but they wanted to
You talking
escalate
about
because
envy?
they want to put you in that situation, like what they do with Kanye West all the time. Like
You
Yeah,
comparing
but
Kanye to
Kanye-
Mobb Deep?
no, but I'm
Kanye's
saying like at the
different, though.
airport, they at Kanye West talking about hit me. I want to be rich.
Oh,
They
that's,
throwing
that's,
stuff
I
out.
was laughing like that, though. I'm talking about real gangsters. That's clown.
You don't see
shit,
that no more. Like what gangster stuff?
dog. Where you don't see it at? Where you from?
I'm from Queens,
Where at?
Queens Village, Murdoch and Springfield.
And you don't see gangsters?
He don't go
Well,
there
he
no
don't
more.
beat it. That's his
I
name.
do, I do all the time. I'm picking my haircut from there. But you don't see it's nowadays. It just seems like everybody's friendly.
Who's
man.
friendly?
It seems
Where?
everybody's
Shit.
friendly.
You in the wrong places, my.
I don't need to be in those places then.
Yeah,
I'm
you
doing
in the
all
wrong
right.
place.
I'm trying to avoid it too, but I understand what y'all saying. People try to come in my head all
man,
the
it's
Oh, yeah,
it's real out
definitely.
here, man. It ain't sweet out here. It's real. Like go
See-
down.
see,
It's getting
kinda
murdered,
crazy.
man. It's getting murdered. 2014, 15, 16.
Newark, New
People
Jersey,
are still getting murdered in the
Flint,
streets,
Michigan,
dog.
Chicago. It's going down.
And just because, look, a lot of people look at us, right? They look at Mobb Deep like, oh, these dudes don't live that life no more. They don't do this and that. Homie, you don't know what the I do. You don't know how I came up, who my friends are, or how my life is. You just assuming, or you just from the outside looking in.
But why would you want to
You know
live that
what I'm
life? I thought the whole idea to work and the whole idea to hustle is to get you, your family, and your peoples out of that area, so you ain't got to deal with the no more. And
Right,
the
but
problems
look, when
anymore.
you come from a certain environment, you can't cut people off. There's certain ties you just have to keep. They're your friends.
Absolutely.
There's certain families. You got cousins. You got friends. And you can't just cut people off. Who does that?
Nobody does that. I didn't say cut them
No,
off. but
people
what
do
you-
do that, but we don't do that.
Right.
Do you ever get too old for it though? Like it's like, oh, look, we're grown now.
Yeah, of course you get too old and you don't want to deal with certain things. You don't want to hang out in certain areas no more. You know, but there's certain ties that you just have to have.
Like I ain't gonna
There's
go to the
certain
bridge and
ties-
see you on the corner in the bridge anymore.
I mean, if I'm supposed to be there for a reason, I'll be on the corner in the bridge.
What reason is there for you to be on the corner in the
I
bridge?
got
Steve?
friends in Queensbridge, dog. One of my friends might call me and might need something. Yo, Pete, come over here, man. I need to holler at you. I'm gonna go holler at them. Then you're gonna see me on the corner in the bridge. You know what I'm saying? So
Come
it's
to my
certain-
house. Meet me at my crib.
It's certain people. They scared, and they be like, no, I can't do that no more. I'm sorry. I'm not answering my phone for him no more. I'm not because you scared.
You do got to stay away from sometimes.
Yeah, you
they
do.
bring trouble
you
and
do.
drama.
You do, but you got to know how to balance it out. You got to know how to have that balance. You got to be strategic about life. It's not all about running scared and hiding.
Nah,
You
nobody's
gotta be
running and
strategic.
scared, but you got to be smart. You want to put yourself in a position
Exactly.
where
You got to be smart and
Right.
strategic.
Right.
At how you move and how you choose your friends and how you move around in life. You gotta be strategic, man.
Remember when you guys first came out, y'all would always have like 1,000 people on stage,
Right.
and they
Right.
were like, "Who is Mobb Deep?" Because the two of y'all
Right.
with 1 million people, we'd be like, "We don't know who's performing,
Right.
who's on the mic."
See, we had to see that our corners needed chipping. We you know what I'm saying? We were still squares back then. Our corners needed chipping. You know what I'm saying? And we got our smooth now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have so many people on stage all the time because it doesn't look professional. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean? That's when we was young and our corners needed chipping.
When y'all was signed to Loud, did y'all have a good family relationship there? Because it was like Wu-Tang was there, Big Pun was over there. Like, did you kick it with all of them?
Hell yeah, man. You know,
We always used to all travel together
on
and
tour
stuff
together.
like that. You know what I mean? Especially the Woo.
I wish it was footage. It seemed like Loud was like a slept-on label.
Yeah,
Because
for
everybody
sure.
knew y'all individually. They didn't know y'all was all under one umbrella.
Steve Rifkin was giving y'all money too back to do
Yeah,
everything
that's
you
when
wanted.
budget-
the checks was real.
Budget
The checks was
crazy.
real back then. For
Me and
real.
Envy was talking about that before. Budgets was crazy back in the day.
Nah, not so much no more.
The biggest budget y'all ever
Not
got
so
for
much
an album.
now.
The biggest budget for an album that we got.
Like 900 grand, maybe a million, something like that.
The biggest checks that we got was publishing checks.
Yeah.
Publishing checks is huge for us.
I mean, that publishing, that's where it's at anyway. You know what I'm saying? The advance, you got to pay that back. But publishing is just straight cash. Like, you know what I
Why
mean?
Steve Rifkin never tried to rape y'all? Like every other CEO back
I
then.
mean, I wouldn't consider it rape, but he made a lot of money off of it.
Well, he got his
Gotcha.
bread, I'm sure, some way,
And he
somehow.
made sure you always get. You would be like, "I want to do
The
a movie.
reason-
Here's some money. Go do the movie."
The reason I say I wouldn't consider it rape is because Steve would show us how to get money. He would be like, "Yo, listen, the deal's like this. Charge us, build a studio in your house, and charge Loud." And teaching us like that. So I wouldn't consider that rape. I would consider that putting us on the game
That's dope.
at the same time as
Him
know,
making money.
Yeah, he's
It's a
making money
business
off of
still.
us.
You don't get nobody that does that.
And y'all had people that was cool with y'all working up at the office and everything.
Yeah, man. We used to be in the
for sure.
office smoking
Good
weed
times.
I
with
gave out
Maddie
people's
C.
jobs and stuff like
You
that.
know what I mean?
And Steve used to be like, you know, if you would have a homeboy that needed a job, you could send him up to Loud and he'd get a job. you know
Mad
what I
people
mean?
from Queensbridge in the million.
Nah, that's how it was for real.
Nah, yeah, for real,
It
for real.
was.
Like, we definitely got jobs with people, man.
What's your relationship like with Nas right now?
I ain't speak to Nas in a while, man. The last album he put out was I love that
I ain't
album, yo.
speak to Nas in a minute. But
Word. That's the
shout out
brother
to
right
Nas, though.
Word.
Word.
What about CNN? They getting back together. Capone and Nori.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
about
heard.
that.
You don't rock with Nori at all, do you?
Nah, well, no.
Okay.
No, he's a jokester. All All right.
People like, yeah, he's a clown.
He's fine.
Nah, I with Nori good money. I like Nori.
The Almond Stores,
The
April
infamous
1st.
Mobb Deep 20-year anniversary.
That's right.
From the infamous.
Appreciate you guys for
Congratulations.
joining us.
Mobb.
Y'all had to come back together first, so, you know,
Yeah.
I think that's great. You're going to Europe. You're on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we doing the whole states.
We
starting next
independent.
week, doing all the whole United U.S. and then we going over to Europe. Crazy Independent, April 1st. You know what
Don't
I'm
smoke
saying?
too much in Amsterdam. I heard some stories.
Yeah, people not coming back the same or something. What?
No, I'm talking about y'all.
Oh.
Now, would y'all, I mean, y'all seen 50 here earlier. Would y'all sign with 50 again?
Yeah, I mean, we would do another deal with Fifth if it was the right type of deal. You know what I mean? The last deal we did with him was amazing. It was like, it wasn't just your average record deal. You know what I mean? So,
Havoc says no.
Oh, no, I say yes.
Okay.
Don't put no words about that. He's ND now too, though. So I mean, he's ND now too.
And we actually been talking some business lately about, you know, the whole independent route and our companies, Infamous and H Class. We've been talking some business.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Mobb Deep, the Almond Stores, April 1st. It's the Breakfast Club.